Hi guys, so this is totally different from my previous videos, but as I was going to the effort and, let's face it, risk of bleaching my own hair, I figured why not record the process and show you how I dyed my hair blonde at home myself. I'm not a hairdresser or an expert, I cannot stress that enough, but I have consumed every bit of knowledge I could from the experts, and I've had enough home dye experiment disasters to know what not to do. So I figure if I can pull this off, chances are you can too. If any hairdressers are watching this, I'm sorry, but I can't afford you, and I suspect people might be here for the same reasons. So if you do have any criticisms, please let us know how to do it better. Don't just tell us to go to a professional.
Help me, I'm poor.
Okay, without further ado, in this video I'll show you how I changed my hair from this to this to this. I'm gonna keep my head up like this because I had the headband down for a reason. Don't worry about that. We'll get into that later. If your hair is similar to this level of brown and you want to line it to this level of blonde, stick it out with me. I did this process twice. I didn't need to. The first time I was really happy with the results. I left it about a month and then I just got the itch and wanted to go lighter again. So I did the whole process again and here it is.
Okay, so to dye my hair blonde, I bought 20% developer. This typically lightens your hair 1 to 2 levels. That's why I ended up dyeing my hair twice. I probably could have used 30, but I was afraid of damaging my hair. I bought bleach, a plastic mixing bowl, don't use metal, brushes, gloves, hair clips, and a toner. I already had these 3 at home, but I only ended up using the T18.
Before I started the dyeing process, I prepped my hair in a few ways. I waited a few days after washing my hair so it was nice and greasy. I brushed my hair thoroughly and then I parted it in 4 sections, one down the middle part line and then along the crown line.
I wore an old t-shirt and I put a towel under it.
Because the first time I did it, the bleach actually went through my shirt and stripped the tan off my back. Not great. So I wanted to avoid that.
Okay, so if you're preparing the mix, the instructions said the ratio range was between 1 to 1.5 to 1 to 2.5. I'll be honest, that math stumped me, so I just did equal parts of bleach and developer, and then just added more developer until the consistency was runny, but still solid like this. Okay, so because this process takes a while to do, especially if you're an amateur like me, it's best to do the back half of your head first so that after it's been on for like 45 minutes you can wash it out. And you want to start from the bottom of the back and work your way up your head in like 1-inch sections so you can just really make sure every bit you do is drenched in bleach. Now my goal here was to do a balayage style so that the blonde looked more natural on my face. So because I had old dye on my hair, I just wanted to follow what had already been done, just taking the bleach a little bit higher up my head. However, if you want blonde roots, I'm pretty sure you do the same process and then at the end go in and bleach your roots. This is so that you avoid hot roots. I have been there, done that, and it is not cute. Oh yeah, I had to remake my mix twice because I guess I have a lot of hair, so keep that in mind too. Once I finished the back section, I started on the front section, starting at the bottom and working my way up in sections. I think this is a good way to do it just because you avoid laying bleach on top of non-bleached hair. This is a really taxing process, but keep in mind that the most important parts are the front section and the top, so don't lose steam at the end. Also, if you are going for the balayage effect, it is much easier to achieve the results with a hair dye brush. I honestly don't know why I decided my fingers would be better than the brush.
Hindsight's 2020. I'm wearing this because of how I did this. Be really careful with how you paint on along the top line. Just do like tiny little strips at like different levels so it transitions into your hair. I just pretty much did it in a straight line, so that's how it turned out.
At this endpoint, I tried to touch up any glaring, chunky mistakes. Again, I probably should have been more delicate and used a brush to transition that harsh line. I tried to even it out a bit by wetting it with water so it was like a little bit diluted. I have no idea if that works. But that's what I did. Pretty much by this point, all you can do is hope.
Please, I really need this. I need it.
At this point, the bleach had been on the back section of my head for about an hour and 20 minutes, and it's only meant to be on for about 45 minutes to an hour, so I washed the back section out instantly. And I then waited about 20 minutes to wash out my front section. I guess this was just to make sure all my hair had suffered the same amount of bleach.
At this stage, I also used a hair mask, which I think was really vital to my hair being healthy afterwards. I used this one.
And I let it sit for about 8 minutes before I washed it out. At this stage I could have just gone straight into doing the toner, but I just wanted to see whether I actually needed it after all. I felt like it could be okay, so I let it dry and sit overnight, and then I decided that it was too yellow for my liking, so I went ahead and prepared the toner. I used Wella's T18. I know some people say that that doesn't work in this situation, but I had it on hand, so I figured why not try and go as cool as possible. And I just used the same developer I used for the bleaching process. I mixed a 2-to-1 ratio and I only used half the bottle of the T18, so in the future I can use it again when I inevitably need to. Before I applied it, I washed my hair and towel dried it, and then just roughly divided it into 2 sections this time. I wasn't too worried about being super meticulous with how I did the sections, I just wanted to make sure it was on all of my hair as evenly as possible. I started from the bottom of the back section and just worked my way up, brushing it on only the top few inches of the dyed hair, as that was the most yellow. I then flipped back and started at the front section. I started at my part line because that's what I was worried most about, so I wanted to make sure it was on there the longest, and I also made sure to cover both sides of each piece of hair that I did. I let this sit in my hair for 30 minutes total and then washed it out until the water ran clear, and
this is the final result. Obviously it isn't salon quality, but for 10% of the price, I'm pretty stoked. I didn't lose any hair, it's still pretty thick and healthy. I could run a brush through it. I was so tempted to curl it to make it look better like you see in videos, but I straightened it so that you could see all of the nitty-gritties. Probably needs a trim. The only major issue is the root situation.
Shame. Shame.
As I said before, I was just really sloppy with the balayage painting part of it. But I feel like a root smudge will fix the situation because people have to do that when they get regrowth anyway. So, we'll see. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments below or click the like button. And if you're dyeing your hair yourself, good luck. I believe in you.